Happy Tuesday night, wrestling fans, and welcome to a much anticipated fallout from NXT Heatwave, an amazing NXT Heatwave PLE. We are here, WrestlePool live on all forms of social media. I'm Hosier, Bear is sitting to my right, and Bear, we have an action-packed night. The theme of tonight is What is the Future? A brand new NXT Heavyweight Champion. Wesley kind of in the middle, not knowing what to do. Lola Vice on social media today saying regardless of the result, her time is coming. The fallout begins tonight. We are on the road to the Great American Bash. Bear, happy Tuesday night, my friend.
Happy Tuesday. Happy best wrestling night of the week.
Absolutely.
My opinion. No, 100%. Like, I keep saying this, but I'm still shook up and I'm still like in shock and I'm still not like totally over what happened on Sunday night with Heatwave. I think one of the things that I'm like I'm not over mostly is the fact of the matter that I think Heatwave was better than Money in the Bank.
Heatwave took Money in the Bank to school. In fact, Heatwave took all the money out of the bank and put it in their pockets. That's how much better it was than Money in the Bank Sunday night.
I think if you were to remove WrestleMania, because WrestleMania and Stand and Deliver, I think, are their own things that need to stay separate from everything else. But so far in 2024, if you're talking WWE PLEs, that might have been the best PLE.
I agree.
I would vote for it. If somebody said, "Hey, that's my vote," like I wouldn't judge.
And I think the fans are speaking that it has been the best PLE pay-per-view of 2024.
100%.
It has been outstanding. So tonight we have a lot going on. We have an NXT Heritage Cup match. We have the Don. Capiche?
Yay.
First Lexus King for the Heritage Cup. The future of Wesley. I'm sure we will hear from the new NXT Heavyweight Champion.
Yep.
And the coming out party of Javon Evans is complete, Bear. He tore the house down in the Fatal 4-Way main event.
Yeah.
What's that, a tope suicido that he did over the top turnbuckle, and
we got turnbuckles.
Sent Trick Williams into the barricade and knocked the whole thing down.
Yeah, it was insane. Like, I don't know. We went into the main event saying on Sunday night that the main event had a lot to live up to because every match was so good on Sunday. Like was absolutely so good on Sunday night. And then the main event delivered. And it's one of those things where the PLE just, if it had like Heatwave, if you're a wrestling fan, if you're a casual fan, if you're a diehard wrestling fan, if you've never watched wrestling before and you just started watching it and you turned on Heatwave, it literally had something for everybody to enjoy.
Agreed.
Whether you're the old school wrestling fan that just likes really good stories in a match and doesn't like all of the flips and floppies and all that.
Hashtag flips and floppies.
Hashtag flips and floppies. You got that. Or if you're a wrestling fan who enjoys that style, that Japanese style, that NJPW, that kind of stuff, stuff you kind of see in AEW, we got that with Sol Ruka and Kalani Jordan put on an athletic exhibition unlike any other that we've seen in a long time. So
a tremendous first defense for Kalani Jordan and the women's NXT North American title. And if you wanted physical domination, you had the man among boys. You had Obafemi.
It's just not fair.
It's not.
But the whole point being that tonight we left. Corey Graves said that we left Money in the Bank with more questions than we had answers. We left Heatwave with more questions than we have answers. And I really hope we're going to get some answers tonight, including that little jump scare at the end.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Say his name and he will appear. So let's see if we're going to get – we got no TNA anything on Heatwave except for that one little piece from Joe Hendry. There's a lot, but let's talk about going into tonight. You've got Wesley. We're going to hear from Wesley. Does Wesley move into the main event NXT Championship title? I actually don't think so.
I don't either.
And we can talk about that more throughout the night. We have to find out. Like, I just like Ethan Page. Who is the chap? Is it Trick? Is this it for Trick in NXT? Like, is he moving on and is he moving up to the main roster, or is he going to be challenging? We got an incredible announcement today with what's coming in September. You told me.
Oh, NXT No Mercy, September 1st. It's the night after Bash in Berlin.
Right.
And it's going to be live in Denver. I'm not sure where in Denver, but it's coming to Denver.
So we have Great American Bash, which is a Tuesday night just special. Then we have No Mercy in September. So are we going to see a continuation of Ethan Page, or does a Shawn Spears or Javon Evans deserve a shot at Ethan Page one-on-one in like at Great American Bash or at No Mercy? Or we're going to run this back and we get a fatal four-way again?
There's a lot to figure out there. Trick is going to look at Shawn Spears and saying, you couldn't let me just break up the count. We could have continued the match.
Right.
You could have been still involved trying to win the NXT title. I could have still had my NXT title. So I have a feeling that those two have business together. Yeah. Javon's going to be like, Young OG was bouncy.
Young OG was bouncy.
Young OG was bouncy as anything. Put me back in the title picture. You can also see the three of them figure it out for a new number one contender, or say his name and he appears. Who knows what we're getting? I have no idea.
I like the idea of running this back
one more time. I'm with you.
Let's get another fatal four-way. Let's see them go again one more time and see, like, can they make that magic again that they made on Sunday night? So I'm all for that. I'm also all for the idea. We talked a little bit about it on Sunday night during Heatwave, that with Wesley not going into the main event picture, but really now just working to cost Obafemi.
Yes.
I really like that story because Wesley is so tied to that North American Championship that it's almost like,
does he start to develop that level of obsessiveness that we're seeing a lot from one Drew McIntyre on the main roster, to where now he's just anything necessary to regain his North American title?
Right.
And if he can't challenge Obafemi, who can he go and recruit to help dethrone Obafemi, so that then he can then either challenge or be handed the NXT title, and we start to see maybe a darker, more sinister, serious side of Wesley in an attempt to go get that North American title. And also Lola Vice. Roxanne, it took 4 3/4 pop rocks to beat Lola Vice.
Yeah.
Lola Vice is definitely still firmly in the NXT women's title picture.
Oh, 100%.
There's more meat on that bone for them to run that back.
Oh, let's do that again all day.
Absolutely.
But here's my question to you before we get NXT happening in 3 minutes. I've been thinking hard about this one, and I don't want to go with the Meltzer scale of stars, but we'll go with pool lengths because we're Wrestle Pool, so why not? How many pool lengths of pool would you just making stuff up here? How many pool lengths would you give NXT Heatwave? Like, how are you rating NXT?
So what's the highest number I can go to?
So we're going 1 pool length to 10.
How about number of pools?
Number of pools.
Okay.
We're figuring this out. We're figuring this out on the fly. Number of pools.
Wow.
How many pools would you give NXT Heatwave?
See, all 5 matches delivered. And even like the only match that even started slow was the tag team title match. Was the only match that we were kind of sitting here like we were laboring. Okay. And then all of a sudden it hit a point and it shot up. I might have to go 4 3/4.
4 3/4 on a scale of 5.
On a scale of 5. I loved it. I watched some of it again early this morning.
Yeah.
And I liked it more watching it the second time than I did watching it live the first.
100%.
I was completely enamored with it. So I'm going to go 4 3/4 because nobody gets a 5 yet.
4 3/4, I think, is a good score. However, I am going to score this lower. I'm going to score it at a 4.
Okay. Do tell, Bear. Do tell.
The reason being, the wrestling was amazing. The stories were incredible. The finishes were fantastic. We spent 9 hours of that PLE watching video package after video package after video package after
But
video
does that have anything to do with the actual premium live event?
Yes.
The competitors competing?
That's why I'm giving it a 4. I'm
Okay.
taking a point because the wrestling was that good. It was so good. The matches were so incredible.
Just put another match or two. Like, you could totally do it.
We could have had another match.
Absolutely.
We could have done.
They were in and out in 2.5 hours. There might have been a little over an hour worth of wrestling.
Here's my prediction. Tony D'Angelo.
Well, coming off Sunday night, someone should not be making predictions. It's Bear.
But here's my prediction. Charlie Dempsey, Tony D'Angelo are going to have a great match tonight.
It's Tony D'Angelo and Lexus King, but thanks
Tony D'Angelo and Lexus King. I'm an idiot.
Flippies and floppies.
Flippies and floppies. Tony D'Angelo and Lexus King are going to have a great match tonight. I think this match is going to be so good that it could have been on that PLE. And that's what I'm like, defend the Heritage Cup.
I agree.
On the PLE. And
I agree with you.
You could have had this match on Sunday.
Yep.
And filled some of that time because, my goodness.
Let's just show the entire WrestleMania documentary again. Let's do it tonight. Let's take an entire 30 minutes and let's.
Like, it was insane.
Yeah.
But here we go.
Here we go. Happy Tuesday night, folks.
Happy Tuesday. Happy wrestling. NXT.
Oh,
we're
going to start with a video package.
With a video package recapping Heatwave. Hey, listen, let us know if you're watching, whether you're watching on X, on Twitch, on YouTube. Go ahead and drop a comment. Let us know. Number 1, where are you watching from? Number 2, did you watch Heatwave? And number 3, what would you rate it? How many pools on a scale of 1 pool to 5 pool, with 1 pool being the worst, 5 pools?
Is there a pool emoji?
Oh, yes, there is. There's definitely a pool emoji. How many pools would you give?
All right. I don't like to be on my phone while I'm talking wrestling, but I need to see. All right. So, funny story. I have another YouTube thing that I like to do.
Okay.
And instead of going live on X to that X channel, I put live basketball content on the WrestlePool channel, and it sat there for about 3.5 hours yesterday. So for all of you that watched my breakdown of the Brooklyn Nets general manager interview, I apologize on X.
WrestlePool, where we do wrestling and basketball.
Yeah. Okay.
Next, we're going to start with cricket. Because the U.S. cricket team absolutely destroyed.
No, there's no actual pool. There's only swimmers in a pool.
Somebody create a pool emoji for us.
Well, we can go to Emojipedia and we can copy and paste, I think.
There you go. So yeah, let us know where are you watching from. Let us know how you rated Heatwave. What are you excited for? Get the conversation going. We're here to chat. I don't like talking to him so much. I just have to because we sit here together to watch wrestling.
That's a lie.
That is a lie. I love talking wrestling with him, among other things.
Pop rocks on the table, and the table didn't break.
Yeah. Poor Lola Vice. But
she's a warrior, man. She is an absolute warrior. They both are.
100%. They went to war with each other, and it was a great match. And I would love to see it happen again.
If this is really like the ending of Trick Williams, I did not expect it to come this soon.
No.
I really thought, we've been talking about long title reigns.
Yeah.
And it's like 4 months? April, May, June. Yeah, 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, not even. Because he didn't even win it at Stand and Deliver.
No, he won it at Spring Breaking. Yeah.
Did that happen in the middle of April or did that happen in the middle of May? I forget. I'd have to go back and look.
Middle to end of April.
Okay.
Is Sean Spears working with Ethan Page?
I mean, great question that we don't have an answer to, but we're going to find out tonight, hopefully. We'll see.
Because did he not see I got to question Sean Spears here. Bam. Say his name.
I want to get Joe Hendry. Tonight. Hopefully we're going to see Joe Hendry tonight. Oh, here we go. Kick it off right with Ethan Page.
All ego.
All ego, baby. Oh, somebody's getting fired. They flashed the graphic too soon.
Debuted May 28th.
It's insane. It's insane how
July 7th. He becomes the top guy in NXT.
Just over 30 days. Like
Insanity.
It is insanity. Jordan's saying she doesn't think our mics are on. You know, can you hear me? If you can hear us, comment. Let us know if you can hear us. Could you imagine we've been talking this whole time, nobody can hear us? 7 people watching us and nobody can hear us? 10 people watching us. Oh, I was just too far away, Jordan said. Sounds better now. We gotta figure out how to keep these mics closer to us, I guess. Or I gotta turn the mics up. Hopefully that sounds better, Jordan. You let me know. Maybe it sounds too loud now. Oh, the NXT crowd is being very nice to him right now.
Well, they're trying not to put everything on mute.
Ava came out before the show and was like, please, we don't want to mute you.
We're not going to use the F word. Let's use the HE double hockey stick, please. Everyone had to sit crisscross applesauce.
I'll lift this a little bit. See if that works. Okay, maybe that's better. Listen, he's good at making people hate him, that's his job. Like
top flight heel at the moment here at NXT. Oh, we got something.
Oh, is that Oro Mensa? Yeah.
Oh, are we revisiting this? I like it.
Best GM in the game.
I agree. Only one with control over her brand.
She's got control over her brand. Nick Aldis, Adam Pearce. They can't they've got Drew McIntyre throwing officials. They got Bloodline getting in car crashes and stuff. Come on, let's move Ava to one of those main roster brands.
And we'll see Drew McIntyre hit her with an elbow. See how long he's employed. Yeah.
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 Not a lie. Not possibly not a lie there. One of the greatest main events in NXT history. Not my champ. Not my champ. Oh, here we go. Are we going to get Joe Hendry right here? Talking about outsiders.
The era of ego is upon us.
I mean, it was like we knew Trick. We knew we were gonna get Trick, right? Like, oh yeah, tonight. Trick loses tonight. Trick's going main roster, 100%. His mic work is great.
Yeah, he's very good. All right, Ava, it's time for you to jump in, make it official. Not you, Adam Pierce.
Sean Spears. Let's just run the fatal four-way back tonight. Let's just do it all again tonight.
The crowd knows you screwed Trick chance.
All right, where's Javon?
He's next.
There he is.
Yep. You might be right. We might be getting the whole thing tonight. Is he wearing a dead president's jacket? Oh, thank you, Javon.
He 100% is.
That president's out to represent me. Oh, here we go.
We're either getting all right. We might be getting a tag match again tonight.
No, I want the fatal four-way, Bear.
I know. Me too. Let's just do the fatal four-way tonight.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. They're doing this tonight too.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Trick really has nobody to blame for this but himself.
100%.
Because it was him who said, Ava, give him what he wants to Ethan Page to get him in the door.
Right. Right.
If he don't sign that contract, Ethan Page is not here. Trick Williams may still be world champ, Bear.
100%. No, 100%. This is the Trick made his bed. Now he's got to lie in it.
Absolutely.
However, Trick's got his or should have his championship match.
Is that still a thing?
It is. I mean, or they've made it a thing again. Like they've brought it back recently, where it's like, oh, I'm the champ. I'm going to get my rematch. I remember a few years ago they did away with it, but I do believe that they brought it back. They are now they're now like doing that again, where they're They're like, oh, the champion gets their rematch.
Good,
They have their
'cause
rematch clause.
It should happen.
But the question is, should Trick get the one-on-one rematch? Or do we get our fatal four-way and then maybe do you do the fatal four-way first?
Well, Trick was the champion, so you would think he should get his rematch. Now, is it he gets his rematch the way he sees fit?
So here's a scenario that can play out. You do the fatal four-way first, and Trick. If you want to continue this story, Ethan Page and Trick, and this is just kind of like a detour for them. You do the fatal four-way first, and then you have Trick come back and be like, well, I never actually got my rematch. I'm supposed to get a one-on-one rematch. We did another fatal four-way. So maybe you do the fatal four-way at the Great American Bash.
And then the one-on-one main events, no
mercy. Eventually, I do think, however, that the goal should and or probably is that Ethan Page beats Trick one-on-one clean, especially if we're talking about Trick going to the main roster.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot that you can do here. Unfortunately, in the first 10 minutes of NXT or 15 minutes of NXT, we don't have any answers as to what's going to happen.
We still don't know what the future is.
I just want to know. I want to know. Just tell me. I'm excited for the wrestling. But maybe that's also they're doing their job because they're keeping me excited for the wrestling, right? They're making NXT must watch. So
I agree.
So yeah, other than that, I think we're going to see some sort of interaction, Ava and the four of them here tonight. Listen, if they just did the fatal four-way tonight, that'd be sick. I don't think they're going to do it. I think we might get another tag match, Shawn Spears and Ethan Page versus Javon and Trick. That'll be fun. And it just continues to move the story forward. But we're gonna have to wait and see. Let us know in the comments. Are you watching NXT right now? What do you think? Or are you just
let us know?
Or are you just watching us watch NXT and you have no idea what's happening? Let's take a quick break here while we're at a commercial. We'll be back in a few seconds while I find this. We'll be back here in a minute while we take a quick break, grab something to drink, and then when the commercial comes back for NXT, we'll be back with you. And we're back. Coming back to NXT, Lexis King currently. Looks like, or you think might be getting our Heritage Cup match here. Both of these guys just shooting terrible promos on their phones. Hire a videographer at Bear Savvy Media. All right, Heritage Cup tonight. Tony D'Angelo has been defending it for a while now after winning it from Charlie Dempsey. What is your prediction? Do you think Tony D keeps the cup?
Yeah, I think he keeps it. Absolutely.
Okay. At what point do we see Lexis King start to do something in NXT that we all know he's capable
of?
Oh, they're not doing this now. I thought they were going to do this now. But we all know that he is capable of doing incredible things.
He can start by shaving that beard.
Probably a good idea. I thought only Drew McIntyre could carry a sword to the ring.
Booker T is a fence rider. Booker T, say fence rider.
Say bicycle.
Yes, man. Yes.
Let's talk about, like, real quick. I think we mentioned it a little bit on Sunday, but the absolute stackedness, that's a new word that I'm creating, stackedness of the women's division in NXT and WWE. It is like, let's just focus on NXT. It's ridiculous
It is.
how stacked this women's
It's about,
division
in
is.
NXT alone, without going into detail, I could say it's about 10 to 12 deep of female performers that you want to watch on a night in, night out basis, both here on TV and then also what they do at these house shows that we've been fortunate enough to go to a few of them. You're talking, I mean, everyone from the ladder match from Battleground are all top flight, right? You have Roxanne, you have Lola, and you have, but at the top, I don't want to go into all the names, but it's at least 10, 12 deep.
Yes.
And it's not all the same profile, right? It's not all the Tiffany Stratton profile. There is diversity and there is real depth
100%.
across all spectrums of the type of performer you want, the acrobats, the physicalness, the grappler.
Yeah.
You kind of have it all in the women's division just here in NXT.
Right. No, absolutely. 100 just in NXT. I think about, and even just like the personalities.
Yeah.
Where, like, I do think that there was a point in time in NXT and WWE where, you know, when a personality for a woman wrestler worked, we kind of started just getting copy and paste, and we have, like, the personalities just across the board are incredibly different, and then their personalities are actually affecting their wrestling style, which is incredible, which makes it just more interesting. But like you said, like, every single woman who was in that ladder match for the North American Women's Championship could challenge for the NXT Women's Championship today.
100%.
Jada Parker, Mi Chin, Sol Ruka, all, like, Kalani Jordan carrying, like, all of them 100% could challenge for that championship today, or could challenge for the NXT North American Women's Champion. But then you have Carmen Petrovich and Ariana Grace and JC Jane and Jasmine, I don't know Jasmine's last name. Jasmine Nix here in the quote-unquote mid-card.
Yep.
And then you have names like Ren Sinclair and Carly Bright. And
Fallon Henley. Who was in the ladder match.
Fallon Henley in the ladder match. Like, Fallon Henley's top, on the top of the card. But you have these Ren Sinclairs and Carly Bright and Brinley Reese.
Yes.
Who we are seeing on the house shows develop.
And we forget about Thea Hale.
We're
the little warrior. The little ultimate warrior.
But we're forgetting names.
Speaking of Fallon Henley, currently attacking Miss Petrovich. Where's your sword, Carmen?
That's why you carry the sword.
That's why you carry a sword.
What do you think of this transition for Fallon over the past?
It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never, when she was with Briggs and Jensen, I never thought that this is the character that would transform, or she would transform into. The cowgirl hat and the jacket.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of.
The Jack Perry of NXT.
And he didn't need CM Punk and New Japan to put him over.
He did not.
He did not. So funny because like Wrestling on X were freaking out, both positive and negative, about this story. Number one, checking if he's okay.
Yeah.
Number two, somehow tying this back to some of the legal troubles WWE is going into and why they shouldn't do this story. And I thought it was done very well.
100%.
There's a general manager with poise,
Right.
resolve, doing what's best for business.
Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce need to take a note. Okay.
All right, Brooks Jensen, right?
Brooks Jensen.
He is back.
He's back. When are we going to see him wrestle? That's the
Well,
question.
we got to get some VHS tapes to Vic Joseph. He's got to play them. All right. We're going to do a whole road to recovery now.
They've done that. They've done that with so many different people, right? Like we did the Alexa Bliss one. Who else did we just do that with recently where they were like seeing a shrink?
We need a 17.5-minute video package of his entire career.
I'm good. No, please. I just want to see him wrestle. Like,
That's all we ever ask for here on WrestlePool.
Just let him wrestle.
Let him wrestle. The wrestling matters.
The wrestling matters, which they're usually pretty good about. But
all right, so back to the women's division.
Yeah.
Who are 2 or 3 that you want to see next up for Roxanne, for Kalani Jordan? Now, yes, both can run it back because both were amazing matches. But thinking ahead a little bit more to maybe No Mercy. If you're booking No Mercy for the 2 women's titles, who and what kind of match do you want to see showcased for those 2 titles at No Mercy?
Oh, that's a great question. Number one, I will say this. Okay. Number one, whoever they are, I still think it's Roxanne walking out of No Mercy with the title. I still think it's Kalani walking out of No Mercy with her title. However, this is a great opportunity to start giving them more contenders. And so I do think about No Mercy, we would be just over a year from the great Chase U scandal and Thea Hale challenging for the title and having the towel thrown in, right? So like, could we see a little bit of a Thea Hale opportunity for the NXT Women's Championship against Roxanne? That would be a great match. I think that we're going to see I think Great American Bash or No Mercy, we're going to see Sol Ruca, Kalani Jordan again.
Okay.
But if it were my pick right now for the North American Women's Championship, who I think is Jada Parker.
You literally stole. Yep.
I think it's Jada Parker just to put her in. Not that she's not in the title, but like just to give her shot.
Yeah.
Again, I still think it's Kalani walking out of No Mercy because I think we're in for a long title reign with Kalani. But I do think Jada Parker's the next one up on a big PLE. I think Kalani probably carries the title to around Survivor Series, whatever they're going to do for the PLE and that for NXT in that time period. So I think Kalani carries it to then. And if we give her a couple of really top opponents between now and that time period, we might see like a triple threat, a fatal 4-way, something like that, where she loses it that way. Because we've put all of these people into that contention. So.
I'm with you on the Jada Parker, Kalani Jordan. I was just going to say, because Kalani is such a baby face, right? The innocent, young, sweet, look at me, I'm the champ. Look, mommy and daddy, I did it.
Right.
And Jada Parker's she's out for blood every Tuesday night. I think that would be a great foil for Kalani.
I'm with you on that one. I 100% agree. We didn't even get entrances for them.
They must have a lot planned to be cutting these entrances out.
Like, we gotta carry that thing to the ring every week.
That just seems annoying. I like it. It's different. So I'm not going to hate on it.
It's very NJPW.
Yes. What is that on your... Oh, I can't get over it. I don't want to say this, but like your father would never do that.
Oh, yeah.
The WrestlePool logo is blocking my capiche.
Capiche? Capiche.
Capiche. Oh, we got a DJ. Do we always have a DJ at NXT?
That's Eddie Thorpe.
Oh.
That's Eddie Thorpe up there just playing the beat boop. Because Lexus King's promo about that beat boop music that you listen to.
He really is. All right. So now you are much more attuned to the rules of this.
Yeah.
Do tell.
I think it's three total. It's 3 total rounds. Rounds are 3 minutes each. Double check that for me, how many rounds it is. But I'm pretty sure it's 3 total rounds. Rounds are 3 minutes each. A pinfall submission scores you a point and ends the round.
Can I? It's made official. Sean Spears and official ego Ethan Page versus Trick Williams and Javon Evans happening tonight.
That is the tag. So they're gonna run.
So that is your main event tonight.
Okay. So they're gonna run that tag match back, which is interesting to me that you would do the tag match again. Let's get a Javon turn on Trick tonight. What do we think? Just make him a heel out of nowhere. That'd be great. No. Or actually, you know what might be interesting is it.
All right, hold on. So the Heritage Cup matches consist of 6 3-minute rounds with 20-second breaks in between each round. Matches are 2 out of 3 falls. Falls can be won by pinfall, submission, or count out. Once a fall occurs, the round ends.
Yes,
so the first to 2 falls, a maximum of 6 rounds.
Okay.
Okay.
Which is very interesting. Like, if you enjoy WWE and you're not watching NXT, you're missing out, because NXT is the place where they are testing everything that then goes to the main roster. You know, we've heard rumors that there is a women's United States title and a women's IC title coming. And the reason for that is because of the success of the women's North American title in the short time that it's actually been a title. But this is where they test things. And it's not just where they build people, but it's where they test things and they try things and they try. Iron Survivor is complete Shawn Michaels creation. That is amazing. And I 1000% believe we'll see it on the main roster someday. Like, it's a great match. It's a ton of fun. Heritage Cup, I don't know how you would have, do you make another, like, do you make another type of cup that you would have these type of matches, or like, do you take the Heritage Cup to the main roster or something like that? But this is where they test things. So if you're watching WWE and you're not watching NXT, you're missing out.
I agree.
2, 1. All right. So round 1, no points scored. What is going on? Oh, it's Eddie Thorpe playing his beat boop EDM stuff. I was like, what's happening? All of a sudden, I thought somebody was coming out.
Better turn around, Lexus.
Poor Lexus out here doesn't have anybody in his corner with him.
He doesn't have a family.
He doesn't have a.
He doesn't have a family.
Oh, there we go.
Tony D with the first pinfall. She's spraying water on him. Picture in picture.
Stick with us live and picture in picture. I really like the Heritage Cup. I like the format.
Me too.
I just like the difference. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not just like, oh, here's another match. Like,
here's another title.
And you know what? It's not right. It's not really another title. It's a championship, like the cup, but it's a gimmick match without being a gimmick. Right? There's no tables or ladders or chairs or thumbtacks, which never.
I agree.
So it's just a different type of match to enjoy.
Yeah.
I think is also why I enjoy Iron Survivor so much, because it's just a different match to be able to, like, a different format of a match that is fun to watch. And the good thing about the Heritage Cup, though, is we can get it weekly because the Heritage Cup has to be defended. Did you bring the Orbit gum tonight? No?
No, I did not.
Can't count on him for anything.
Can't count on me for anything.
I think as much as Lexus King winning the Heritage Cup would be interesting and cool and different, whatever. But I think the point of this match was really to just move forward the whole idea of Eddie Thorpe and Lexus King. So
Iron Survivor is Elimination Chamber, kind of without the cage, right?
Oh, that's it. 5
superstars compete in this unique 25-minute match. 2 superstars will start the match every 5 minutes. A new superstar will enter the match until all 5 are in the ring.
Correct.
The goal, all right, so the difference here is the goal is to have the most falls within the 25 minutes.
Correct.
Versus Elimination Chamber, it being elimination, hence the name Elimination Chamber.
And so the other aspect of Iron Survivor that is really interesting is if you are the victim, if you get pinned or submitted, you go into a penalty,
which is my favorite part of the whole thing.
Fantastic, right? So,
we need the referee to come out, go, Jada Parker, 90 seconds, losing.
like in hockey, like just with signals. No, and that's what makes it a lot of fun. But okay, so you talk about you go into Elimination Chamber, the best spot to be, or you go into the Royal Rumble. The best spot to be in the Royal Rumble or the Elimination Chamber.
27 has the most wins.
20. So you want to be at the end. You want to be one of the last people into the ring. Iron Survivor is really interesting because, like you said, you have to accumulate the most in the 20.
So it's almost the reverse. You kind of want to be first or second.
Well,
because in that 5-minute stretch, you can quickly pull off a roll up, a cradle, or something, and you get that quick pinfall.
Or do you want to be the last person where everybody else is beating each other up,
and you're just collecting pinfalls like Pokemon, Bear?
Exactly right.
Okay.
So
little strategery happening.
It is more chess than checkers. Iron Survivor. So it's a really good match. I really enjoyed it. And if you have Peacock, go back and watch the first Iron Survivor match. The men: JD McDonough, Grayson Waller, Joe Gacy. I think Trick. I forget, but that first Iron Survivor match. Oh my goodness!
I don't think I've ever seen. I was here for it.
You were here, yeah. It was the first Iron Survivor match. Is
NXT Deadline? I think it was
NXT Deadline, which is
November 15th, 2022, and I don't know that because I remember it. I read it. I'm not pulling out these facts like number 27.
He was just like boom. But yes, that I think if you have Peacock, go back and watch that match. The Iron Survivor matches from this past year were great.
Yeah,
the men.
I agree.
were fantastic, but that first one is so memorable. All right, so 1-1.
We're in round 4.
So my question though is, what happens when we get to the end of round 6 if we're tied? This is one thing.
Sudden death?
Do we go sudden death, or does Tony
Ty go to the
champ?
Ty go to the cup holder.
Tony D'Angelo is another one in NXT who I very much enjoy. I just feel like we haven't seen the full potential. And maybe not to his fault or anything, but like we need like a big Tony D'Angelo NXT championship run.
I agree.
There you go, Tony.
I think we need a more dominant D'Angelo family,
Yeah.
The Consigliere and Stacks possibly competing for the tag titles.
Yes.
The Don with the Heritage Cup, or even like you said, getting back into the NXT title picture.
Or even the North American title.
Can the Don dethrone Obafemi?
Dude. Oh, that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Kick out.
Late kick.
He kicked.
But he kicked. Damien, take notes. Poor Damien.
We'll eventually get over this when the next thing happens.
Well, 1, 2. Nope.
Whack. Nobody sells a super kick.
He just did. Ooh. There it is.
Tony D with the lead, 2-1 going in around 5.
No, he wins.
Oh, best of 2 falls. There you go.
2 falls. What's crazy is he won with a spine buster. You never see.
I was just going to say that. Who wins with a spine buster?
I mean, don't get me wrong. It was a big spine. Like, that was a big spine buster. But who wins with a spine buster?
All right, so I would like to make a recommendation. And I know WWE doesn't do this like AEW does, but there is a song out there. It is a beepity boopity song for the Don, which I think you need to listen to. Okay. It's called Cut the Mozzarella. In a moment where you want to giggle, you need to listen. I actually think, let me see if I can find the opening lyrics. I actually think the guy's name in the song is called Tony.
Hold on. You want the Don to come out to a song called Cut the Cheese? Oh, what do we have going on here? Brooks, what are we doing? Who is he murdering? Oh, he killed Javon? What was that? We just got the announcement of Javon and... Okay, well, that was interesting. Brooks Jensen already getting released. Like, he's back for 5 minutes, and now he's going to be released again. Just spiraling. It's really interesting.
Now, if Javon is hurt, who is filling in for Javon in our big main event tag match tonight?
That's a great question. Who can trick trust?
Ooh, great name of a podcast.
Who can trick trust? That's a great question. I don't know the answer to. Who would you
I don't know.
Like, will we put? We could, like, with Josh, that happening. Josh, we could see Josh Briggs coming in. There's history, Josh Briggs and Spears, so we could bring that into play.
There you go.
And Trick could call on Josh Briggs and bring him in. Maybe it's Joe Hendry.
Call his name.
Trick says his name and then he appears.
If we see Trick on the phone, like we saw with Damian Priest last night, we know he's on the phone with Joe Hendry.
Hendry. What about if Trick brings in Moose?
There we go. Hey, listen,
we're just
Trick and Moose ain't easy. Let me tell you.
We're just booking everything here. Trick calls.
We are fantasy bookers.
Trick calls Moose and the system, and they all just show up and they help Trick. I don't know why the system would help Trick, but
why not?
Why not? Like, why not? It's wrestling. Let's just have fun. Who cares? It could be ridiculous. That's a great question, though. I think Josh Briggs makes the most sense, especially because like he came in to play there and he's got the history of Spears. But it's really interesting to me. We have now kind of these characters like Brooks Jensen is almost like turning into a Drew McIntyre, like spiraling into that psychotic. So you can kind of see the parallel there, and he's a big dude like Drew too. So I think people will start making that, that connection. I think people already started making the Jack Perry connection. They like because of all the invading. He just needs to come out with an armband that says scapegoat.
That's it.
As long as they didn't trademark scapegoat. I don't know if you could trademark scapegoat, but
well, if anyone would know in this room, it'd be you.
Can you trademark scapegoat? I don't know. I'd have to think about that. Okay, so Tony D retains.
All right. Speaking of Tony D.
Oh, we're gonna do this.
You need to listen to this.
Thumbs up. We got thumbs up. Thumbs up from me.
Let me see. Hold on.
This is what we do on live streams. We just listen to these songs.
If WWE was ever to pay for one song for one performer, it's right here.
Waiting for that beat to drop so we can cut the cheese.
How funny.
Please don't cut the cheese.
Here it comes. See?
Tony! They wouldn't be able to put that part in.
And then this is it. It's the whole song. All right. That's all. Before we get...
Cut the mozzarella. Obviously, they're from like New Jersey, New York, because they're not pronouncing the A. It's mozzarella. Like it's not mozzarella. Gabagool.
If you speak to an Italian, it's mozzarella.
An Italian from like New Jersey. You speak to real Italians, they're like it's mozzarella.
My grandmother's a real Italian. She don't use the A. She gets mad at me.
Off
the boat.
From Italy.
Yes. If I say ricotta cheese, she gets mad at me. Uh-oh. Dissension amongst the U. Wow.
Whoa. Duke doesn't seem too happy about that.
Our little ultimate warrior.
Wow. We were just we know what we're talking about. They're listening to us. All right, real quick, Dallas boys on top. Whoa. We're not even getting okay. They didn't cross their arms and pose, guys. You gotta let them do that.
We saw this at the house show. This
We did.
exact match.
We did, and it was great.
Yeah.
Oh, big man should not fly like that, but he did. These two, these are the shot putters.
Yes,
They're fantastic.
they are.
They're also massive.
They are very big human beings.
Like, they could probably shot put you.
From one end of the NXT arena all the way through the entranceway.
That'd be awesome. I would pay to see that.
Oh, that's javelin. They would javelin me. What's it? What's it when you sit on the horse? You joust?
You joust? That's jousting.
You could use me as a joust.
No.
What's the name of the?
It's called a lance.
Is it? Is it called a stick?
Is jousting.
Okay, the name of like the sport would be
is jousting.
Okay.
But the thing that you use, the long, is called a lance. That's why his name was Sir Lancelot.
Listen, I didn't know Zach Brown was the name of the Zach Brown band, okay? How do you want me to know about Sir Lancelot? What is this, Once Upon a Time?
Zach Brown. Oh, wait, is that his real name? Or
I thought maybe his name could have been Gary Johnson. I have no idea. Why do I keep saying Gary Johnson?
It's a Zach Brown band.
I don't know. Could have been all their father's first names. I have no idea.
Like, their name is Gallus, but they're not all named Gallus.
No, but that's what I'm saying. They're the name of a group.
I mean, this is what I'm dealing with at home.
Hi, want to join my band? What's the band name? Oh, it's my name, Zach Brown Band.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, it worked out well for all of them.
Oh, just a little bit.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
A little bit. They're pretty good. Well, in fact, they're great.
Oh, we're going to hear from Trick, okay?
This guy.
He should not be throwing drop kicks that easy, Vic Joseph. It's insane.
This guy.
Tim's.
This guy. I don't think television does these two justice.
It doesn't. It does not. You need to see them in person.
Ooh.
I'm a big fan of Gallus. I've been a big fan of Gallus for a long time.
That's it.
And
Gallus boys on top.
Fantastic tag team champions. That's right. Vic Joseph's listening to you. I would love to see them with another championship run. What is X saying about this about NXT so far tonight?
Let's see. We got a lot of people concerned with Javon's health and well-being.
Oh, here's Trick. Say his name, Trick. Say his name. I so hope.
This is like the Bray Wyatt White Rabbit stuff. This might be better than the QR codes.
It's so much better. I so hope that they are doing Trick and Joe Hendry versus Sean Spears.
Talk about an unlikely duo.
Seriously, it makes no sense.
It almost be, and I don't know their character names, but it would be the movie comparison would be Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson in White Men Can't Jump.
Oh, yes.
Trick running around the ring, going, "I'm so pretty."
Please.
Oh, that would
give
be
this to
that
us.
would be so great.
That would Ava, make it happen. I think the best GM in the game could make it happen.
Absolutely.
So Ava,
And still maintain control over her show.
100%. We haven't. Are we seeing Roxanne tonight? Are we supposed to
I haven't heard anything. There's been nothing promoted. Either women's champion have not been promoted for the show.
That's interesting to me.
Well, after killing it, some people deserve a night off, I guess.
I guess they do deserve a night off. I like that, and they don't get me wrong, they deserve a night off. But I want to hear from them.
Yeah,
because Roxanne's gonna Here's the thing: Roxanne will continue winning, and her thing will continue to be, to quote Goldberg, "Who's next? Who's the next person that's gonna try?" They're creating. I think I said it. They're almost putting her in Rhea Ripley air, where it's like nobody's beating her.
She's had a run, beating Lyra for the belt, taking down Jordynne Grace with Jordynne Grace's earring in her thigh.
Oh my goodness!
And then really bringing it to Lola Vice in a way that very few have since Lola Vice won that breakout contract.
Right. And that's the thing is you said it took 4 3/4
Pop rocks
to actually. So Lola Vice has the argument of it took I am the person who took you closest to your limit.
Yep.
Jordynne Grace has the argument of, if we're going to get a Jordynne Grace TNA crossover again, Jordynne Grace has the argument of the distraction by Ash by Elegance and Tatum Paxley coming out.
Yeah.
So could we get a Jordynne Grace Roxanne?
We'll see.
Lola Vice triple threat.
We'll see.
That could be a lot of fun, actually. I'm down for that. That'd be But speaking of how,
we'll just put opponents with Jordynne Grace, and we'll be thrilled to watch.
Yeah,
we'll be thrilled to watch a rematch between Roxanne and Lola. But
we will 100%. But speaking of Jordynne Grace, the news and rumors coming out that her contract was amended to end in January, which is surprisingly close to around
February 1st, 2025.
That's what, right around. There's a little event that happens. It's called the Royal Rumble.
Listen, to me, it is a fait accompli that this is where she'll end up.
Yes.
I don't know if she'll end up in NXT for long. If she ends up in NXT at all,
I hope she does.
That is someone you can send right to the main roster.
100%.
But listen, like I always say, follow the money. Money talks.
Well, yeah. No,
if
absolutely.
she's a free agent, Con Bucks will be coming. The never-ending deep pockets.
Here's Wes.
All right, this is a big deal too here.
Yeah. He was looking a little sad.
He looks like he could be in our Keystone Club. Feel like he's dressed to flip tables in a bingo hall, Chris.
Yeah. Well, we're with you, Wes.
Was when he was hurt.
Yep.
So Javon Evans is officially out. and it's leaving Trick without a partner.
Interesting. And his partner will be Joe Hendry. I believe.
All right, let's see what. All right, come on, dark, sinister side of Wesley. Become obsessed.
Heel Wesley could be interesting.
Has he ever been?
No. I don't think so.
All right, the kid behind him should not be throwing up the West Coast sign.
A burp.
I do like that sweatshirt, though. Off topic.
Javon with a dead president. Wesley's got the like. You are appreciating the fashion tonight. I have a feeling that I know he can't challenge, but I think we're gonna round that somehow. We might get another.
Is this another gentleman's agreement that's going to go away?
It could be.
We had one go away Monday night. I want to be the king of the West Side.
You gotta challenge Wesley for that. Go to Raw. No, don't go to Raw. Oh no.
Is he going to quit? NXT Arena feels the same way I do. Chanting, please don't go.
Is it time for West to go to the main roster? Can he fill Ricochet's spot?
I was just going to say that to you.
Oh no way! They did this. So that is his tag partner that was in NXT with him.
What's their tag name?
MSK is their tag name, but in TNA they're the Rascals.
Which one was his tag partner?
The guy with the hat. Wow. This TNA crossover is a really big deal. We got trios championships in NXT. Wow.
Now, were both of them in NXT?
I just remember the guy with the hat being his tag partner in NXT. I don't remember. Somebody would have to, let me know.
Ooh, big words by a visitor.
I'm not going to lie. They were a fantastic tag team. Wow, this is cool. This is super cool. If we're going to get these guys every week, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Wow, that's awesome.
This is going to be super fun and super cool. I think we're getting Joe Hendry. We got the Rascals. I think we're getting Joe Hendry tonight. We're getting Joe Hendry. Like, come on.
He totally just looked like a teenage girl there, the way he said that.
Yeah.
I hope she shares this much energy in her personal life.
Could you imagine if she is like this 24/7?
Because that would be such a joy.
If that's what you want to call it. No, I think Thea Hale is amazing. But like
It might be a bit much after a while, but it would be enjoyable to see.
It would be enjoyable to see for a little bit, but then at some point you just like
Enough.
Can't keep up with her.
You need to go take a nap.
She's like the Energizer Bunny that just doesn't quit. You need to go take a nap. Because I would need a nap after about 15 minutes of just hanging out. So, all right. With that being said, we're geared up for Thea Hale versus Izzy Dame. I think it's going to be a pretty good match. Thea definitely getting the win, and then hopefully moving on to that NXT Women's Championship picture.
Yeah.
Again, we're just over a year from that little snafu in her first challenge.
And she was facing Tiffany Stratton, right?
Yes, I believe so. Yes, so because I think that was right before Tiffany and Becky that all went down. So fingers crossed, we're gonna see something cool here tonight. If we don't see Joe Hendry in the tag match, I'll be disappointed.
Yeah, let's see, because I was not expecting that.
No, the MSK and the Rascals being there, super cool. That's going to be a lot of fun. They're starting to integrate TNA more weekly, it looks like.
Yeah.
Which just makes me wonder.
Now I got to go study up on TNA.
Well, it also makes me wonder, what is the partnership? Like, what does this look like? And at some point, are we just getting a TKO purchase of TNA, and TNA becomes the fourth brand under the WWE?
Now, you had said that you saw that TNA might be doing some stuff with AEW again.
I saw a brief rumor that apparently it didn't say who, but that a TNA star wrestler may be on an AEW show in the next couple of weeks, which would be really interesting to me, because if there is a world where any of us want an AEW WWE crossover, The bridge to that is TNA. The bridge to us getting that is the WWE working with TNA and then TNA using their previous relationship with AEW to bring these two companies together and bridge that gap. If it's possible, is that possibly, if let's say we got a forbidden door with the WWE, AEW and WWE, and I'm not saying call it forbidden door, but we got like a single PLE that was AEW and WWE, it might be the biggest wrestling show to ever happen.
Yeah, you might be right. I just don't want to see it.
You don't want to see it.
I don't.
You don't want to see.
I don't. I like the competition. I like the back and forth.
Well, they can still compete, but they just do a couple.
You're not
things.
competing when you're working together.
Well, they're still competing, like they like.
Just not a fan of it.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Because TNA is partnering with NXT.
Yes.
It's not TNA on. The only one that has been on actual WWE main roster TV has been Jordan Grace for the Rumble.
Which she's the second TNA.
Yeah, Mickie James. Yeah,
a couple of years ago.
And Mickie James has deep rooted history in WWE. So that, and with Nick Aldis now being,
of course,
GM.
Of course. Like all of the connections are there, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, I don't know if I want to see it, but I kind of want to see it. It would be massive. They'd put 100 to 120,000 people in an arena.
They could
in a stadium.
They could.
If you did that, Will Ospreay and Seth Rollins.
Yeah, no, it would be huge.
Seeing John Moxley reunite with Seth and maybe Roman, and depending on what's going on at that point, like it'd be interesting.
On to your hell.
I believe she's ready for another crack at the women's title.
As do I.
I believe that she will win.
I don't think you should use that phrase right now.
Why not? It's not as bad as Portugal losing to France.
Yeah, they got out of group play.
All right, yeah, in an easier tournament. It's just the Euros. Copa America is harder, definitely.
Why don't I believe that?
You should believe it. Copa America. Can we talk about? Why are we talking about soccer? We're here to talk about wrestling. Guy, bringing up soccer. What are you doing?
Well, you said I believe she can win. I immediately thought
it. Win, and then you were like,
I thought of U.S. soccer. Hey, listen, at least I know something regarding U.S. soccer.
That's
okay.
A good point. That's a good point. Booker. Who? Okay, like who
allowed Booker to be color commentary? I have no idea.
Speaking of commentary team and what, what's his name? They just announced that what's his name is joining from ESPN. Tessitore, is that his name? Tessitore.
I know the name, but
he's apparently joining WWE. Oh, hi Tatum. Something Tessitore is joining the WWE commentary team. Does he replace Booker? I mean, I don't see how he could replace Booker because he's not like a character or.
Oh, he's the one that was doing all of the interviews during WrestleMania.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. ESPN announcer Joe Tessitore will begin calling WWE later this summer.
I wonder where, like what.
Tessitore is also signing an extension with ESPN ABC to continue calling college football and top-ranked boxing.
Oh, so he's got a little Pat McAfee deal going down.
Tessitore will lead a 3-man booth featuring color commentators Corey Graves and Wade Barrett. Tessitore's going to SmackDown?
That's really interesting. I didn't read all that. All I saw was the headline that he was going to WWE.
But why is Corey Graves? All right, let's get. Thea Hale wins.
There we go.
And I was distracted.
Well, because we're distracted because we need to replace Booker.
We do.
We Booker, we love you, but like it's time.
Wow.
Thea Hale with the win. So now, when do we get our match? When is Thea Hale going to be challenging for the NXT Women's Championship? I mean, listen, Obafemi is a big dude. Duke is a big guy.
Duke is a very big dude.
Oh yeah, little stratisfaction. He did.
There you go, Duke. Let him know what's up.
There you go, Duke. Jesus. I'm excited for that match now.
I am too. It's going to be meat slapping Tuesdays. Oh, here we go.
Yep, here we go. Oh, that's right. We're getting this tonight. I don't understand why Scripps was released from WWE when he was working with and they were like high on OTM, I think. Like, it's gonna be a good tag match.
Yes.
Two young talents up and coming, and Gallows and Anderson are gonna put them to work. which is another, like, we talked about how stacked the women's division is in NXT. The tag team division is kind of stacked in NXT too. Like, we've got some great tag teams with OTM on the rise. We just saw Gallus Boys versus Tyson and Tyreek. The OC being there to kind of, I think, to really kind of build some of these younger tag teams up and to teach them a thing or two and to make a lot of guys look good. MSK being back now, that we've got a good, but if we could just Axiom and Nathan Frazier, Chase U tagging together, like, we've got a really good tag team division. It's just that WWE hates tag team wrestling.
They do.
Why can't they like it? I don't understand.
They should. People are good at it.
Why am I so not comfortable right now?
And then we could get trios titles.
That's why I don't want to do this podcast with you. Just for that take alone.
But I mean, it's a good take.
It's not. It's the worst take in the world. They're terrible.
No, they're done terribly in AEW. They could be really good if you do them correctly, and it gives guys spots to, be on the shows.
On a show where their pay-per-views, PLEs are only 5 matches, not a lot of spots to be had.
We could have had 2 more matches. We could have had 2 more matches.
We could have. And neither of them should have been for the trios title.
We could have had a trios title match.
I don't like it, but maybe if it's done differently, maybe I will. And there are a bunch of trios.
There's a lot of trios.
There's but we would have one set of trios titles like the women's tag titles that would travel across the 3 brands.
I would be okay with that. I would be with that.
Can't have a Raw and SmackDown or no. That's like the one thing, and it just goes.
But the problem with that is that we don't even get, we barely see the women's tag team titles on the brands.
Then put it on NXT and have it focus on NXT.
All right, trios titles on NXT. I'm with you. And put the women's tag titles back on NXT and leave them there.
Is there any women's tag teams that were?
Not anymore. I mean, Isla Dawn, and you have real women's tag teams right now. You have Isla Dawn, the Unholy Union, Isla Dawn, and Alba Fire.
They are the tag champs, so that's one.
That's one. You have Life of the Party, Kaden.
But they're on the main roster. I'm talking NXT.
In NXT, any real tag teams, not just people thrown together. Yeah. No, there's JC Jane and.
They were a tag team. They're not anymore.
No, JC Jane and Jasmine Nix have been tagging, but I wouldn't say that they are a.
Which is something I never understand about this. This is your quote-unquote development brand.
Right.
Develop some damn tag teams.
I know.
Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Then why have tag titles if you're not going to develop tag teams?
I'm with you 100%. I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. And especially because, again, NXT is the place to do that. And what they did with Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, they built them in NXT, and now when Toxic Attraction was together, they built them in NXT, and then they broke them apart because Mandy had an OnlyFans and they weren't happy about it. So they got rid of Mandy, and they were like, well, if we're going to get rid of Mandy, I guess we got to just break up Toxic Attraction. And I'm like, why?
Which makes no sense.
It made no sense.
But if you don't value the tag teams and you think there's more benefit for just singles wrestlers, then this is what you get.
Like they're doing everything to make us think that it's Joe Hendry, and then it's not going to be Joe Hendry. I read a thing today, or I saw a TikTok today, somebody talking about like wrestlers who Triple H has given up on, and their names came up as wrestlers that Triple H has given up on. And I'm like, what? No? Like, are they in the main event of WrestleMania? No, they're not.
They're not even on the main roster. I guess it comes down to how do you view NXT? Is this being given up on?
Absolutely not.
You know, they're not getting NXT salaries. They got big money deals.
They're still getting there, and they don't travel anywhere.
Are they in this area?
I'm pretty sure they both live in Orlando.
Because ain't nothing got to be worse than traveling to MCO every week to come do NXT.
If they are traveling, I feel thank you for traveling. Gallows and Anderson, we appreciate it.
Speaking of traveling, off topic, and we'll get back to, but I've been watching a lot of Johnny Gargano's vlog.
So good.
His travel stories about MCO just further cement the fact that I absolutely hate MCO and everything about it.
It is terrible.
Okay, now back to our regularly scheduled programming.
My thing is this: I'm with you on it's like, how do you view NXT? Do you view it as like, like when you go from the main roster back to NXT? Do you view it as a banishment, or do you view it as an opportunity to rebuild? My opinion with Gallows and Anderson, it's neither of those. It's literally like they're putting them down there because they have tag teams down here that they need these two guys to work with and be like, hey, this is how we do tag team wrestling.
And they're under contract, I guess they have to. But if you phrase it like that about what they're doing while they're down there,
to me, it's not Triple H giving up on them. This is trust.
This is where we think you'd be best served right now.
100%. And we're trusting you with our future.
Because it's either be on TV or don't be on TV.
Right.
Because now that AJ Styles is no longer the OC is not a thing.
Right.
Where are they fitting in right now in current WWE storytelling on either Raw or SmackDown?
100%.
They don't. Which is why, like, in singles competition, the Baron Corbin run down here was so valuable.
Yeah.
Because he completely rebuilt himself. He completely brought himself back to where he wanted to be. And he did it because he was on TV. There was no shot he was going to be on TV.
No, on the main roster.
On the lead up to WrestleMania 40, compared to being tag team champions with
Braun Breaker.
One of the future faces of WWE.
I'm with you 100% on that.
It's that where, they've given up, or when people say, oh, well, this company fumbled this person.
Right.
I can't stand when people say that.
Well, 100%. Yes, I agree with you there. And I'll come back to my thought on that in a second, but I know for a fact grizzled young veterans, because they've said this in interviews, that was the role that WWE wanted them to be in.
And they didn't want to.
They wanted them to be the tag team guys that they were kind of depending on to like work with the young talent and get them ready for the to move on and for bigger things and all that kind of stuff. And they didn't want to do that. They didn't feel like they were at that point in their career yet, and arguably not. Incredible tag team, all that. But if they were going to leave, well, you do need a tag team here to work with all of the NIL kids and with all, and who better than Gallows and Anderson?
Yeah, they've been all over the world. They've wrestled everywhere.
Literally,
all over the world.
And not only that, but they've been a tag team forever.
Yeah.
Like it's not like throwing together two guys. They are a credible, legendary tag team.
I agree.
Coming back to your point on like fumbling, that's all the talk right now of like AEW with Ethan Page, and it's like, look at what WWE can do. They did with Ethan Page.
I can't stand that narrative that is spun for like Swerve. Well, WWE fumbled him. Opportunity, circumstances, and then chance,
just timing
all play into when Swerve was released,
Right.
did we expect this?
No.
No. But it starts with the right look, the right song, and
right.
Argue with me, whoever out there wants to argue with me.
Right.
You got yourself a catchy theme song. You are a step ahead of the game.
100%.
You know. Oh, here we go. Oh, come on.
Yeah, let him go.
Looks like we'll be getting more of that, which I'm here for.
Oh,
Nishin versus Jada Parker.
Ooh. Wow. 100%.
And that goes right back to why having Anderson and Gallows down there is so important for moments like this for a young tag team.
100%. Yeah, it's that whole, you're right, the whole narrative of like everything is timing in wrestling. Like, and it, you know, clearly. This will be a fun match.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you on that. Like, it's all about timing. It's all about, you know, what's happening in the world. What's, you know, what's going to be the best story. What's going to, you know, bring the most.
Not everyone can have the same success in every company
at
the same time. And I mean, to get off topic on AEW, you look at the top of the men's roster there.
Yeah.
Where's Ethan Page fitting in?
It's tough. Well, and that's I will say this about the narrative. That is also a bit of Tony Khan's fault.
Yeah.
Because you have such a massive roster. Where does anybody fit in? And you're almost doing, you know, listen, guys are getting paychecks and that's great and all that, but, you know, is WWE using Ethan Page better than AEW? Well, it's not. They're using it.
Yeah. And he's on a brand where he can shine. And he's getting serious TV time. Right. He's already main evented 2 premium live events, and he's been there for 40 days.
Right. And he's the NXT champion.
And he's the world champ of that entire brand.
Right. And so it's a bad argument to make of like, oh, this is using.
It's just it doesn't sit with me. It's not even true.
The tribalism sucks.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Which, like, you know, I'm big on X. I love talking and communicating with people, but I don't participate in it anymore. I can't stand it. It's annoying. You can't even have adult conversations about pro wrestling with other adults because you have an opinion that is not theirs. And if it's not theirs, then we resort to childish name calling and nonsense. So I really only talk about NXT. If it's literally just hashtag NXT guy, that's all I'm going to be, because you can't say, well, WWE did this poorly. AEW does this poorly regularly.
Right.
I don't have time for it. I really don't.
Luckily, AEW doesn't really have a developmental that people could be like.
Yeah, it's called ROH.
Well, it could be their developmental, but it's really not. We don't have any we don't see ROH like they tape on TV for TV, but where it just goes on
they
ROH.
they have their Honor Club or whatever it's called.
Honor Club, but so
they only sign up for that for the library.
Exactly, yeah.
That's all.
So here on NXT, on WrestlePool, we're just talking NXT.
Sorry, we've digressed a bit, but
those NXT guys, but it's because it's
and what they're doing. And what I compliment WWE on, amongst many other things, is they're strategic in who they're signing and how they're going to use them.
Right.
They're not. It's not the original NXT where it was straight up indies and guys who have, the KOs and Sami Zayn's of the world that they brought in who have track records.
Right.
It's a lot of NIL. It's a lot of developmental from the ground up.
Right.
But you need people like Ethan Page. You need people like we just talked about. Anderson and Gallows and Sean Spears, you're strategic in who you can bring in because you can give them major TV time because you can spread Sean Spears around to work with 5, 6, 7, maybe as many as 8 of the younger talents that every single one of them will come out of that with Sean Spears or Ethan Page better than they were when they went into something like that. Even at a house show, we watched Sean Spears work.
And it was great.
And you can see him being up close and watching him communicate and talk throughout a match.
No, I'm with you.
It's very informative. They're learning on the fly here.
And you, 100%. They are so invested in NIL and having the NIL athletes. Yeah. Unfortunately, they still have a product to put on TV. And fortunately for us, unfortunately for them, it's a good problem to have. But they still have a product that they have to put on TV every week. And you have to have guys that you can trust to go out on TV and deliver on TV to continue to be able to bring in these NIL kids, to be able to build them and grow them and create the pro wrestlers that you want in the WWE. So I'm with you. I'm guessing that's supposed to be David Kemp in the trunk.
Was that him?
That was him. It's supposed to be him in the trunk.
Oh.
They never showed him because, of course, David Kemp getting released literally like today or yesterday.
It was not too long ago.
Which I was never a big fan of David Kemp anyway, so.
So much Mickie James here.
Very Mickie James.
Very Mickie James here. I'm curious if her favorite wrestler was Mickie James.
That would be
if she's
a question for Fallon. If you'd like to come out to WrestlePool and answer these questions, we're happy to have you.
Can I Google it?
I also wonder if Fallon, she's not an NIL person?
She is not.
That's interesting.
She made her debut at Shine Wrestling.
Oh, Shine. That's a Florida promotion.
Oh, we still have Lacey Evans to come back. No, Nikita Lyons, sorry.
Yeah, Nikita Lyons and Cora Jade, whose ACL is hopefully getting better. 9:39.
It's not going to be a very long main event.
It's not going to be there unless they're going overtime, which they've been doing. They've been doing a lot more of in the recent weeks. Is going over.
I don't know why Monday Night Raw couldn't do it last night.
Yeah, we need a little bit more with Rhea.
Did you see
the digital exclusive?
Yeah.
No, I haven't watched it yet.
She just walked away from him.
Did she?
Yeah.
Saturday they're in Mexico City, Mexico. Very cool. A super show. Sunday they're in Monterrey, Mexico.
And then they go to Dayton, Ohio.
What the? Oh, one thing, it's another thing I saw that I thought was really interesting and very much agreed with. It was 4, 5. So what are we? In the past few months, we've had Ilya, Braun, Lyra,
Blair Davenport,
Kiana James have all gone to the main roster. There's another person that Carmelo. Mello. Those were Lyra, Braun, Ilya, and Mello were featured by one of the dirt sheets saying that Triple H, and everybody's giving Triple H credit. Triple H likes to give his team credit. I think it's a lot more. Triple H is the head of everything, and his vision is incredible, but that he's done an incredible job with these NXT stars that have come up. And number one, is this the first group of NXT stars that we've seen go to the main roster that we talked about on Sunday, that we haven't seen a total brand change when they've gone to the main roster? And so we're getting to see this continuation. And is that one big reason why we're getting so much good out of those 4 really right now and what they're doing?
Yes, because I think that they kept them down maybe longer than they should have in NXT, because we thought Braun Breaker should have been up and Mello could have been up sooner, 6 months sooner.
Good point.
They fleshed out anything that they needed to work on, and they just went up, and now they're being presented pretty much the same way they were presented in NXT, just on a much bigger stage.
Right.
So if that continues, it's just going to be more as they come up. It's going to be easier to ingratiate themselves to the main roster audience who may not be watching the third brand of WWE. Because it's the exact same. There's no difference from what HBK wants and what Hunter wants from NXT, and even when they transition to the main roster.
So now my other question for you would be, would you agree with this assessment of they've done incredibly well with those 4 specifically? I know we also have Blair Davenport. We've got Kiana James.
Well, those 4 are the big 4 of NXT. Yeah.
Would you agree? And if you could, let's say we're midway through the year of them kind of coming onto the main roster, because they really started showing up on the main roster, I would say in like January.
Yeah.
So we're halfway through the year. How would you grade this first class of NXT stars really being brought to the main event, to the main roster?
How can you not give it an A+? How can you not? I mean, it could be a combination of the 4 of them are just super talented and really good.
Right.
But also the planning that must be happening now here to replicate those 4 so that all future draftees or call-ups kind of get the same treatment.
Right.
And it becomes a lot easier for them to automatically insert them into a major storyline.
If I could, to me right now, I think, we've always talked about pro wrestling and WWE. You've got like your top of the card, and you've got your mid card, and then you've got everybody else below that. I think that there are a lot more tiers to this now. I think you have your top of the card, your mid top of the card, Then you have your top of the mid card, and then your mid. Let's see what Tatum's saying real quick.
She's talking to a Barbie doll.
She is. I love Tatum Paxson.
Yeah, she's terrific. Oh boy.
Oh, she made an Izzy Dame doll and ripped her head off. Fantastic.
Okay. Oh, who's that? Oh.
Wendy Chu.
Well, now she's not going to be able to sleep with her Bobo tonight.
And so I think what's really interesting to me is you brought up 6 in total, those 6. You've inserted those top 4, I would say, into kind of the top of the mid card.
Yeah.
And they've been incredibly successful. And then you've given Kiana James and Blair Davenport kind of room in that mid card to start to flourish and grow.
They were confident enough to bring them up, but they're going to earn their keep for a little while longer, working the main events, the different things.
Right.
They'll get some time on the TV versus being regulars.
Right.
And with the women's division, it's just really opportunity
100%.
because they still don't give enough storylines to the women that they do for the men.
Yeah.
So it's finding your spots. And then when you do have that spot, they have to capitalize and get over with the crowd, because that's the only way you're really going to get more time on the main roster is we got to listen to what the fans are saying.
I'm with you 100%. No, 100%.
You know, versus the other 3. I mean, Braun already in the Intercontinental title picture. Mello pinned Randy Orton.
Yep.
Mello's first match on SmackDown was against Cody Rhodes. Not a good match, not a Mello-worthy match, but it was a match against Cody Rhodes. Correct. And Ilya came in right off the back with Ricochet, had a 7-star match, according to Meltzer. So, you know,
and that
was 6.5 pools.
I think I like to think, you know, because we talk about this, like, using people right. At the end of the day, Hunter's going to give people the opportunity.
That's it.
When the fans are calling for it.
Yep.
As The Rock likes to say, as always, the power goes back to the people. Whatever. But Hunter's going to give people the opportunity when the fans want it and when the fans are calling for it, when he feels that it's right, to give that to the fans.
Yeah.
Either you deliver on the opportunity or you don't. Luckily, Mello got his opportunity, and they were like, "Hey, we'll give you another chance," because, like, what happened with Cody wasn't great, but Mello, Braun, Lyra, Ilya have delivered in spades.
Oh yeah,
on the main roster.
Yes,
and to me, it proves what they're doing in NXT now.
Yep, and you also are we including Tiffany Stratton in this group? Because
I didn't even think of Tiffany. Yeah,
she was
won Money in the Bank
a little bit.
No, she came up with this class. Was it
before Royal Rumble? Because she was in the Rumble. Yeah. That was right around where she started with the main roster.
Remember, they kind of did this whole thing with them. See, and
because now you're talking Lyra, Tiffany, and then the 3 men.
3 men.
I mean, talk about a draft class.
Talk about the future of the WWE. And what's crazy, though, is none of them were drafted from NXT. There were only 2 who were drafted from
Lyra was drafted.
Kiana James was drafted, and I think Lyra was drafted. I think those are the only 2 that were.
And then Blair Davenport, I think, just kind of showed up one night.
He just started showing up, but they also started, like, it was around January that they started, like, integrating the others into, because I remember, right, they were going back and forth with Tiffany and Braun and
They were pulling double duty, yeah.
Where are you gonna,
Yep.
all that.
Same thing with Jade Cargill. She's in the same.
Right. Well, but is Jade really an NXT? I don't.
No,
think
you're
Jade's
right.
been in
You're right.
NXT.
She's not.
Because
she never really wrestled in
she
NXT.
never really wrestled in NXT. She wasn't part. So you talk about those 5. They've nailed it. It's been incredible. But the most important thing as we go forward, and we're talking strictly about NXT, is here's the blueprint now.
Yeah.
Here's how we build people in NXT, how we make them superstars here, and then move them up to the main.
And now not every rookie class is going to have the level of impact as quickly as these 5.
No.
But the pressure is on Future.
Cedric Alexander.
Are they going to put him in the main event? Is he just signed, or was he on the?
No, he's been signed. Like, he's signed. He's been signed for a while. They just a guy that, like, fighting for TV time. And if you want to see an incredible Cedric Alexander match, and you have Peacock, Kota Ibushi and Cedric Alexander in the Cruiserweight Classic.
I've seen that one. Who's that?
I don't know.
Who is that?
I have no idea.
What is happening? Man, things are happening fast and furious here.
It's crazy. Here we go.
Oh, that's going to be massive next week.
That's a great match for next week.
Gallus versus the Rascals. Not going to lie, it's going to be my first time seeing the TNA tag team, MSK, in action.
That is going to be.
I have never seen them work.
They were when Wesley and
the one TNA pay-per-view we watched, were they on it?
Yes, they were. They were in the tag team Fatal 4-Way.
Okay.
The Rascals. And,
okay.
Which, speaking of TNA tag teams that I would love to see here in NXT, ABC, Ace Austin, and Chris Bay, Bullet Club members would be. I think they're currently the TNA tag team champs. Oh, that would be a lot of fun.
I just don't watch enough TNA to know any of these people.
We're gonna have to start.
We're gonna have to start paying attention to TNA.
We're gonna start bringing these guys in.
All right. Are we both of the opinion it's Joe Hendry, or is there another?
Say his name.
Or is this one of those things where it's a 2-on-1 until the end, and then boom, the music hits at 9?
He's waiting in the aisle, so his partner's here. Maybe he's not. Okay, never mind. To me, they've been hinting at it all night.
They have.
Like, how do you not do this? No, I think we're going to see Joe Hendry here. And they're here. He's standing in the entranceway right now. Joe Hendry.
How this guy is so over is beyond me. Has anyone ever seen him wrestle?
I have not, but he wrestles on TNA regularly. But it's a song, man.
That's all it is.
He just had a great interview with Chris Van Vliet. Chris Van Vliet actually asked him about Cody Rhodes. Asked him about Cody Rhodes and what Cody Rhodes meant to his, because apparently he told a story that Cody Rhodes basically got him into ROH. And really helped him develop there a bit and get him to this point. But yeah, man. I don't think the rest of was expecting that.
The gimmick work is phenomenal.
Amazing.
The song is tremendous. Oh, come on. I thought Ava talked to the NXT fans.
So we have some big matches announced for next week. MSK, the Rascals versus Dallas, Yvonne versus Brooke Jensen.
Hard cam.
Come on, Joe Hendry. Careful,
tomorrow there's going to be an article saying that Joe Hendry's contract has been amended.
Your comparison was 1,000. Did you? Because he just went to and Joe Hendry shook his yeah.
It's Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes.
This is White Men Can't Jump 100%. We haven't seen since Jordan Grace showed up, and since Jordan Grace showed up that night to challenge Roxanne on NXT and then went to Battleground, we have not seen. And then the only other thing that we've really seen was we saw Joe Hendry in the 25-man Battle Royal.
He was in it for 45 seconds.
We also saw Frankie Kazarian, but we haven't seen this level of TNA happening on NXT. But we also haven't seen this level of TNA be. I mean, we are guaranteed TNA this week and TNA next week now because we know that the Rascals are coming for Dallas. Does this just continue to grow?
If you're TNA, don't you want it to?
Oh, this is huge for TNA, 100%.
I mean, the increase in pay-per-view buys, whatever the TNA pay-per-view was after Battleground, they were bragging about it on TNA.
Were they?
Because of the interest in who was going to show up.
Right, because Tatum Paxley
and Tatum
showing up and challenging Jordan Grace for the title.
Yep. This benefits TNA in more ways than any other partnership because just the social media of just this right here of Joe Hendry is going to go into the millions.
Yeah. Here's where I think it benefits NXT. So because we were just talking about how they've done an incredible job building these these stars that are now on the main roster. NXT, since NXT started, with the exception of maybe the brief stint of NXT 2.0, but because of the Vince McMahon era in NXT, NXT has always been the wrestling brand in WWE. If you were a pro wrestling fan, this was your option.
Yeah.
This is what WWE gave the pro wrestling fans to do.
Yeah.
And so what they've done now, which is brilliant to me, is one of the reasons that I think fans are so excited about the Tiffany Stratton, the Braun Breaker, Ilya, and all these, is because the real wrestling fans who are watching NXT are super fans of these guys when they go to the main roster, which then just like, it's like contagious. It spreads to the casual fan. So now because you're NXT and you're serving the pro wrestling community, and now you're bringing in TNA, which is a pro, all the pro wrestling indie fans, the marks appreciate TNA. That's how this benefits NXT, is because you are the wrestling brand in the WWE. Not to say that the wrestling is not great on Raw and SmackDown and all that.
Yeah.
But you're serving the wrestling fan, which then when these guys go to the main roster, it spreads to the casual fan, which then just makes this the global brand that it's going to be or is. Someone is setting off fireworks.
Happy 4th of July.
It's July 9th, people. I saw, I forget, Barstool. Somebody on Barstool was like, to the people who are setting off fireworks on July 4th, I understand that it's your right, and I support that right. But just know that nobody likes you.
So annoying.
We believe. Very nice. Here we go.
They're over. Yep.
Over. So this match is almost over. They might go like 10 minutes over here because this match doesn't feel like it's like close to being over.
Yeah.
Let's go, Trick. Come on, Trick.
So there are fireworks going off. That means your dogs must be stirring.
I hope not. Because they need to chill out.
You want to sleep.
I want to go sleep.
Oh, Joe Hendry, get the crowd into it. Let's go.
Just standing there, Joe. We believe, and you're not doing nothing.
We believe you're not doing nothing. Oh, damn. That Cholula Green he just said?
I think that's what he said.
Oh.
I love that they've continued this with Oro Mensa.
Where we thought it was a 2-on-1 one way, it is now a 2-on-1 the other way.
Paige is gone.
Here comes the finish.
There you go, Joe.
Kip ups always get a reaction. Whoa!
Vic
Wow! Oh, Booker's gonna hit him with the book end. Booker, I wouldn't talk to him, Booker.
Spinner-Rooney. Wow.
There are very few things better than the Spinner-Rooney.
Booker's walking out right now.
Booker's all elite. 11:30 tonight. Vic Joseph.
Well, we had how long over did we go? 6 minutes over. Well, we're not out yet, but we're almost 7 minutes over NXT Tuesday. A very good NXT Tuesday.
Yeah, it was fun. This was fun. This was a great 2-hour and 23-minute conversation.
That's a long conversation, but I mean, we have them anyway when we're talking
every day. And we got a big week next week.
A lot of matches next week.
A lot.
We've got Gallus and the Rascals. We got Javon versus Brooks Jensen.
Are we going to get some Thea Hale world title, women's title?
Next week.
News.
That'd be cool, getting some news next week, but that is it for NXT tonight.
Yeah. Great show.
Great show. Good follow-up to Heatwave.
Absolutely.
Very good follow-up to Heatwave. And with that said, that's it for the NXT guys.
We're done. The NXT guys, I'm tired.
I gotta pee.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Go
well, I don't want to say that, but I'm old.
My bladder's full right now. So, if you are currently watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with us. Follow us everywhere.
At WrestlePool. I'm Hosier. That's Bear. We are #Flippy Floppies, #NXT guys. And we'll see you next Tuesday night.
WrestlePool 4.
For life.